A video posted on several social media channels entitled Dracarys shows a Ukrainian drone dropping a flaming incendiary mix onto a Russian defensive position. Forbes published a report on the video posted on Telegram by Ukraine's 108th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade, which shows a drone flying along a tree line occupied by Russian forces, spurting a white-hot flame onto the locations below. As the video ends, the trees and adjacent fields are left burning. Referencing the popular TV series Game of Thrones, the social media post was entitled Dracarys, the command given to dragons to attack. The video has been widely reposted on both Telegram and X, Twitter. The video shows the drone flying down the tree line, spraying fire before appearing to drop ammunition, which continues to burn before exploding on the ground, setting the immediate area ablaze as the drone moves away. Thermite is an incendiary mixture containing aluminum and iron oxide powder that, when ignited, burns for some time at very extreme temperatures as high as 2,000 degrees Celsius, 3,632 degrees Fahrenheit, or more. Explosive devices thermite. This is hot enough to burn through steel plate, which is why Ukrainian drone operators have frequently used drones to drop thermite bombs onto damaged and abandoned Russian armored vehicles. Once inside a tank, for example, the thermite heats up the interior to a temperature that will ignite fuel and ammunition, destroying it. The Ukrainian startup company Steel Hornets produces a number of explosive devices designed to be delivered by drones, including thermite charges ranging in size from 0.5 to 2.5 kilograms, 1.1 to 5.5 pounds. Ukrainian drone operators. This is the first time that the incendiary has been seen to have been deployed as a flamethrower in this way. While the device in the video burns for a time consistent with the largest of the Steel Hornets products, which suggests a large Baba Yaga type of drone was used to carry it, Forbes speculates that this may be a modified mixture designed to spurt out a flame. The Dragonfire itself is unlikely to cause much direct injury unless an individual is unfortunate enough to be struck directly by a burning fragment, but it will ignite any flammable material and, as seen in the video, dry crops and trees. Tree lines along agricultural fields are regularly chosen as defensive positions to provide natural cover in these wide open spaces. The secondary fire and smoke resulting from the use of the weapon in this way would then threaten troops and, if forced from defensive dugouts or trenches, they could be engaged by artillery as they move into the open. Forbes also raised the question of the legality of the weapon if used as an anti-personnel weapon. In this instance, it is not used directly against individuals. While the video suggests a spectacular outcome, it is the probable indirect effects of fire and smoke that could deprive the enemy of useful cover and also its impact on morale that is its most practical application. But all this time, large numbers of Russian troops recruited from prisons to fight in the war in Ukraine have been killed in clashes on islands occupied by Moscow's forces in the Dnipro estuary and Black Sea, according to reports. Soldiers recruited under the 80th Arctic Motorized Rifle Brigade, which was created in 2014 to protect Russian territories bordering Norway and Finland as part of the Northern Fleet Joint Strategic Command, have disappeared from the islands at the mouth of the Dnipro River near Ukraine's Kherson region, relatives said, independent Russian news outlet ONO reported. The Russian Arctic Brigade is reported to have been decimated in Ukrainian attacks, suffering as much as 80% casualties, the X, formerly Twitter, account of Chris Owicki, a military analyst who posts about the war, said, sharing the latest reports. Irina Ivanovna, whose 36-year-old son Konstantin joined the unit from a Russian prison, told the publication that he disappeared this spring while fighting in Ukraine. He stopped communicating with her on April 27, she said. I called the military unit and was told that 80% of the brigade had been killed or wounded, and a boy who served with my son was wounded in the stomach. On April 29th, Ivanovna was given a document that he was missing in action. They say that when Kherson is liberated, then they will search these islands. Ivanovna also said that while she was happy when she found out her son was going to fight in Ukraine, she is now worried because he is currently missing in action. We don't know if he's alive or dead. Neither here nor there, she said. Another Russian soldier recruited to join the brigade last year from prison, 37-year-old Sergei Romantsov from Severodvinsk, was deployed to the same region in April but disappeared after just weeks, his family said. From prison he went to war. We had a row about it. I told him, no need. It's a one-way ticket, and he only had 2 years left to serve. It's crazy to sign a contract. He also called and said he was going, without explaining the reasons, his sister Nina said. He was appointed a boat pilot. They get into boats at night, go on missions, pick up the wounded, she said. At the end of April, he called and said that he had undergone a baptism of fire, and a week later, he disappeared. On the 1st of May, he was still alive. What happened next is unknown. I found out that his boat was hit, either by a shell or a drone. There were survivors, and many also were killed, she said, adding that the islands are now completely under the control of Ukraine, and no one wants to go there, it's certain death, she added. The bodies that were left there will most likely remain there. It's impossible to get there as far as I understand. They were simply sent to be butchered. Ukraine has launched regular raids across the Dnipro River following its successful liberation of the city of Kherson and the west bank of the river toward the end of 2022. Throughout the war, Kyiv's troops reached the occupied side of the Dnipro in mid-October 2023 after extensive cross-river operations. This puts Russian President Vladimir Putin in a bind. Loss of control over parts of Russia proper is an enormous embarrassment for the Kremlin, the analyst noted, and the restoration of Russia's legitimate state territory will take precedence over continued occupation of recently conquered domains.
Давай, рух!